right, let's talk a little bit about compound interest. Okay, this is going to be the formula that we use for compound interest. Let's just talk a little bit about where this comes from. Let's start with the simpler version first. And honestly, the simple version will not get you too far off from the answer, but here's the idea. So just like our other exponential growth problems, this is our starting amount. And then we want to multiply this by something over and over and over. What do we want to multiply by? Well, I don't know. Let's say we were, our interest was 4%. Well, if we divide that by 100, we get 0.04. So we're multiplying our value by 104%, 1.04. Okay, 1 plus this, because that's how much it's increasing. And then how many times am I going to multiply by this? Well, it depends on how many years it accrues that interest. So if it's 2 years, I'll multiply by 2 times. Or if it's 5 years, I'm going to multiply by this 5 times. But that's the idea behind this compound interest formula. Is we're just putting interest on, and then whatever's there, we're putting interest on that. It compounds each time. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times you don't have this interest calculated on your balance every year. A lot of times you'll have it calculated every quarter, okay? Or sometimes you'll have it calculated every month. So if you have it calculated every month, they say, okay, so if this is the number of years, we're going to do this 12 times the number of times, okay? If it's 1 year, this is going to happen 12 times. But that's not really in line with the original thing. So what we do is we have to cut our interest rate as well. So we basically cut this interest rate into twelfths, okay? So now, yes, we're compounding it 12 times, but at this lower rate that approximately is going to get us to where a full year gives us this original rate, okay? And again, if it was quarterly, we'd say, hey, I'm going to do this 4 times, but I need to cut my rate by a factor of 4. Okay, so that's what all of these are. This is our starting amount. This is our interest rate, our annual interest rate usually. N is how many times we compound over the year, or whatever unit of time that we're using. And T is our unit of time, in this case, usually years. Okay, so here's an example. And if you know what all the things are, this problem becomes real easy. We're just plugging in numbers and shoving it in a calculator. So if we invest $7,600, well, that's our initial amount, or in some contexts, that's our initial principal. At 3.8 interest, okay, so R is going to be not 3.8. I got to move my decimal over 2 times. So 0.038. Okay, it's compounded monthly. So our N is going to equal 12. And what's the value after 9 years? That's our time. So time equals 5. So we plug all this in, our initial amount plus our interest rate compounded monthly over 5 years. Plug that into a calculator, being very careful with your order of operations, and you should get 9,187.54. Okay. So approximately $9,200 after 5 years. So not a hefty return, okay, but better than just sitting there letting your money lose value. So there you go.